Welcome to the Stockton train station. It's already the morning of day 4 and I've got a little bit of catch up to do. Last time I left you, I had taken a ferry from San Francisco to Vallejo. So I just got off the ferry and I've been instructed to walk north until I reach the other boat that I'm supposed to get on. I just hope I'm walking the right direction, but it's sort of fun. It's sort of like a scavenger hunt or something. I also don't know what the person who I'm meeting with looks like, so it should be a fun adventure. I hope I find the other boat. Or if not, I hope they're friendly people in Vallejo. A few minutes later, I got on their 45-foot yacht and we went through the delta. It was beautiful. And the boat wasn't too shabby either. There was a personal chef on board, there was music blasting, plus they let everybody take the controls, including me, which was a little nerve-wracking, but a lot of fun.
And then you're steering, so just like hang us like in the middle. But we're gonna like follow the rock levee on the left, so stay about the same distance off of what you're at, so you kind of like...
A few hours later, we pulled up, we were nearly in Lodi, and we had to get our way to the agricultural helicopter that was gonna take us the next leg. We couldn't actually find the helicopter, but we found these nice guys who were able to give us a ride on their electric golf cart. Hey. Then we met up with Joel, who was piloting the helicopter. He took us up, and it was unlike anything I've ever seen before. It was especially cool after having gone through the delta on the boat to see it all from a bird's eye view, and we were swooping over the fields. I think Joel was trying to impress us a little bit. He did a few loop-de-loops. And did that thing where he's diving over the fields and then pulls up right before it looks like we're gonna hit a tree. But it was spectacular. Then we landed at Jesse's Grove. There were tons of people there to meet us. One cool thing about Jesse's Grove is that it's been there since the 1860s. That's when they started farming the land, and I got a chance to talk to Wanda, who's 4th generation, and she showed me some of the older equipment they used to use there. All of this was horse-powered and human-powered, so it was essentially stuff I could have used on an road trip 100 years ago. Then we were off on a horse-pulled wagonette.
This vineyard was planted in 1889. It's the oldest Zinfandel vineyard in Lodi. So it's over 120 years old.
Good. Cheers!
We did a few toasts on the road, and then we went to meet up with the Cachettis, who make olive oil in the area. They had a bunch of people over and a beautiful dinner, and I spent the night. And the next morning I was off again, this time on a sunrise bike ride. I was joined with Brian and Greg, who were there to keep me company, which was much appreciated. And then we were back to Jesse's Grove. We did a quick TV interview, and then we were off on wagonette again, this time to Mel Rausch's house. We were gonna get on a Duffy boat. This is a Duffy electric boat. These are the people who used to supply Disneyland with their Jungle Cruise boats. So what sort of engine is that?
Well, it's a 48 volt, about 6 horsepower electric motor that the manufacturer supplies. And it has 2 banks of 6 volt batteries, 8 each, so it supplies quite a bit of power for a long period of time. We have had access to this river since we were kids, and we used to drive power boats and jet skis in here, but later your needs change, and so now what we want is something slow and quiet and doesn't produce smoke and exhaust, so this was perfect.
From the Duffy boat, we met up with some kayaks. I actually got to ride this really cool Hobie pedal-powered kayak.
Sits right in these brackets, locks in, and you're good to go, and it just moves through the water like a penguin.
It was beautiful going through that river, seeing all the birds, all the wildlife, all the plants. All right, I'm pedaling the Hobie. Been pedaling for about 2 hours now, and I am so exhausted. I think we still have a little under an hour to go. I am beat, especially I'll be riding a bike tomorrow through San Francisco. So I hope I'm not still sore from today for tomorrow, but we'll see. It is fun, especially for the first hour when I could still feel my legs. All right, well, got off the Hobie boat. Little exhausted, my legs are sort of killing me, and now Kirk and I are walking to the winery.
Yep.
And where are the other guys? Oh, there they are. They're taking the car. But then we were at Heritage Oaks Winery as I was spending the night. I was warmly welcomed by Tom and Carmela Hoffman, who let me into their home. And the next morning I had to get to the Lodi train station for an early 7:15 train, so we hitched a ride with Fred and Bob, who let us ride on the back of their motorcycles. It was a quick ride, and though it may not be the most energy efficient vehicle, it is more efficient than a car, and it doesn't take up as much space.
I get about 40 miles to the gallon.
Yeah, about the same for me, 40, 42.
Then I took the train from Lodi to Stockton, and then here I am now waiting for my next train, which is going to take me to Fremont. Then I'll switch to another train, which will take me into San Francisco.